Everyone, Susie Kennedy here. For those of you that are new to my channel, thank you for subscribing. If you're not already subscribed, please do, and maybe click that notification so that you know as and when videos come up. So my work is about bringing you hope and inspiration that you might live this life on earth with some spiritual guidance and understanding. And I'm always channeling those angelic realms and the beings of light. So today Metatron comes forward very strongly to bring a message around the first point. There are 3 points that they want to bring through. And the first point around eclipse season is firstly understanding exactly what is happening. Now in an eclipse, you know that sometimes it's a solar eclipse and sometimes it's a lunar eclipse. And what we've got are the bodies in the heavens moving so that one moves between the other. So in a solar eclipse, we've got the moon passing between the earth and the sun. And in a lunar eclipse, the earth blocks the sunlight from reaching the moon. So there's a reflection. Now, in that time, it's understanding, Metatron says, that life is cyclical, that there are things going on in the world, in your world and in the world of those that you share your life with, that you cannot change. And as much as you want to change some things, the biggest energy through an eclipse is to be able to look at what's going on in the wider world and to observe it and to notice in that observation what you understand about your own sense of what is going on. It's a time when you, in this understanding, so in the eclipse, 3 things we're going to talk about. The first one is understanding. So it's understanding the bigger picture of life, understanding the bigger picture of your life and the life of those that you share your world with. And particularly whatever season the eclipse is in, it's to look at the energy of that. So I'm recording this on the 30th of September 2024, and whatever time you come to see this video, there will be an eclipse happening, which is probably why you're watching the video. But whatever the sign is that the eclipse is in, it's that will bring extra meaning to it. So at the moment we're going into Libra, that Libran season, the moon will be in Libra. So the energy of that is all about justice and equality. And so I invite you, if you're watching this at this current time, to look at those things in your life that you feel are not just, that are not fair, that you struggle with seeing the meaning of, and you can't understand why things are so out of balance. And it's to look at that from a global perspective and to understand your own response or reaction to those things that you feel you cannot control. And so for many of you, you may feel at the moment that people around you are struggling, and perhaps you're struggling, and you're struggling to see what you can do. And Metatron's energy, or his message, is just see that it is a cycle. See that it is something that holds a great deal of information and power for you if you can do the next thing, which is to do that inner reflection. Now, in an eclipse, the second thing we've got to look at, and this is Mary's energy now, she's saying you've got to recognize the opposing forces in your life. So in an eclipse, you've got the sun and the moon, you've obviously got the earth, but you've got 2 very strong energies. Let's say the earth represents our physical nature and the sun represents our eternal spirit, and the moon represents that, you know, the feminine. So the sun, the masculine, the moon, the feminine. And then we've got that within us, our intuitive nature and our doing nature. And the message Mary brings through is that it's a time to soften the heart space and to know that you will be challenged or given the opportunity to see an opposing force in your life that may choose to dim your light or cause you to doubt who you are. So that opposing force. So if you're predominantly a creative, an intuitive, and somebody with empathy, you might find that you come across somebody that is very logical and very dominating and very much in their head. And at this time, she's saying it's not to dim your light, it's to be in a space where you are able to observe what is going on. So this is the inner reflection, the meditation, the calling in of your guides, the calling in of Mary, particularly at this time, the softness, and understanding exactly what the opposing force that is threatened to dim you or to dim your light or to dominate or take over. And you may also be in a space where that part of you is resisting shining, resisting being, that strong energy that you are, or resisting shining for fear that someone else may pull you down or talk about you or say, who are you to do what you're doing? So, these opposing forces, shining, being in the background, using your intuition, using your logic. But particularly at eclipse season, you will find yourself challenged, because that's what eclipses are. They're an opportunity to grow. They're an opportunity to transform, and an opportunity to see yourself in a much better light. So know that when these paths cross, and so this could be that somebody is crossing your path at the moment, and that person that's in your path at the moment may be niggling you, they may be challenging you, they may be not stepping up to a challenge. You want somebody in your life to step up. You're like, why don't they step up? Why don't they, do this? So the inner work is for you to look at what it is that you are here to experience yourself as, and to own that, to really embody all of who you are, and to do it in a way that is authentic, is the only word I can come up with. And Mary is showing me this sense of actually almost like bringing this energy of hugging yourself, is saying, I see you. You see yourself for who you are. And in eclipse season, we often see the things we're not doing, or the things others are not doing. So the second point is about recognizing the opposing forces that are playing out in your life at the moment. And that may be coming up through the dream state particularly. Had quite a few phone calls in the last couple of days from clients and friends saying, God, I'm having all these really vivid dreams and they don't feel good. And sometimes I'm not remembering what they are, but they're intense. Now, what the dream state does is it's like a sifting energy. It will pull from the subconscious what is lodged in there, and it will bring it up. And in the dream state, there is a part of us that when we're in the dream is understanding or recognizing what's going on. And in that place, we are processing and letting it go. So if you don't remember those dreams, don't worry about it, because it's a beautiful way that your soul is saying, this has been lodged here, but you don't need to carry it anymore. And if you can recognize that at eclipse times and in the times of eclipse, there's just such a huge opportunity for you to come through it, even though it may be emotional and it may be confronting and it may be uncomfortable. But you can come through it in a way that you have this kind of sparkle in your sense of self, because you say, oh, I actually really know who I am. And you start to see yourself as the light and the essence of light that you really are. So Mary's message is, this is temporary darkness. It's to hold a vision for yourself, hold a vision for the world, hold a vision for that space within you that wants to be all of you, and is ready to completely blossom. The third thing that comes in, and both Mary and Metatron are very strong with this, it's kind of saying that you have to strengthen your faith in the fact that some people may go out of your life, some things that you thought you were going to do or experience may fall away. But it's to know that where you are on your spiritual journey, that in this period of darkness and stillness, of eclipses, you can find a deeper sense of yourself and make peace with whatever happens. And this is not about being passive. It's not about letting go of dreams. It's not about losing yourself. It's about finding a sense of complete stillness within, so that you can co-create with the universe. You can allow the essence of all the spiritual beings they're just there, and they're waiting, and they're always excited to be with you and work with you. And all they need is for you to surrender a little bit. But this third thing is strengthening your faith in you. Strengthening your faith in the fact that if something is ending, because there are a lot of endings in eclipses, and those endings can be all sorts of things. Whatever the ending is, there can be physical endings, endings of jobs, where you live, all sorts of things, but there can also be the ending of a pattern within you. And that release of that pattern is where you strengthen your faith in who you are. You strengthen your faith in the world, and at the moment, the world is in a mess. Is it? It is. But it's in a mess, but it's being reconfigured. And you as light worker, you as spiritual being that is aware, you are part of this change. You are part of this reconfiguring of humanity's consciousness. And so as you do your inner work, which is all you can do at this time, is as you do it, there is a sense of all of the pearls of wisdom coming together and things making more sense. So I'd encourage you to be really patient at this time, or if you're in eclipse season, as we go through eclipses, but make an intention. So if your intention would be, I want to understand what part of me is resisting. So understand what part of you thinks something isn't fair or isn't right. Understand what part of you feels that you don't have the power to change something out there. And remembering that your power is always to change what's in here, what's in, within the fabric of your being. And by doing that, by the way, we do influence what's out there. So remember, understanding is the number one thing. Understanding what you feel you can't change, and then recognizing what opposing force is showing up in your life at the moment. And it may come as a person, somebody that you might have had great hopes for, somebody that you may have seen one way and then suddenly you see that shadow part of them. Or maybe you see your own shadow through a relationship and you go, oh my God, that is in me. That thing that I've been, stuffing away down deep inside and hoping nobody would see, that's in me. So it's just recognizing it, because we're human and we are all aspects of everything. Now, when we find those shadow parts of us and we recognize it, the opposing forces are, can we let the light shine? Because in an eclipse, there's always a period of darkness. There's always a period where something is obliterated or a shadow is cast. And it may be that your faith has to come back stronger. It may be that your intuition has to come on stronger. Your knowingness of what you are here to do and who you are. And it might be, this strength, this action part of you that needs to actually step forward. Look, I'm the kind of person, when I live life, I tend not to get into the what is the star sign at the moment, or what is the, what planets are doing what. it's more about what is your lesson at the moment? Where are you? And if you can simplify it by saying, what is the opposing force in my life that is showing up? Is it in me? Is it in that person? Is it in this situation that I think I can't change? And how can I make peace with it? What is this opposing force showing me? And ultimately, it's so that you can bring up the energy of light within yourself, the confidence, the knowingness of who you are and what you're here to experience. And thirdly, as a reminder, it's to strengthen your faith in yourself, in your life, in your beauty, your intelligence, your connectedness to all things. So happy eclipse season. May it be peaceful, may it be joyful, and thank you for watching. And very interested in what you see is perhaps an opposing force that may be showing up in your life at the moment, and what you are understanding about yourself. Take care, everyone, and lots of love, and I'll see you again soon.